How come no one talks about how insane it is that we've just totally normalized the idea of spending 10 hours every weekday away from the people we love most? At least back in the day, it was only the man of the house doing it, and his salary actually was able to afford things, but now it's both adults. Not only is that insane, it is also normal to do that for 50 years before you get your freedom. You know, once you're too old to even enjoy it. 50 years of pointless meetings, 50 years of spending more time with your coworkers than the people you love. For what? Given that the average retirement age is above 60, but then the average life expectancy is under 80, that's less than 20 years on average of actual freedom. You know, 50 years building someone else's dream, 50 years making someone else rich, 50 years not having control over how much you're paid. You just have to hope and pray for a raise every year and hope that it beats inflation, but most of the time it doesn't. We've normalized that. Like, everyone still signs up for student loans to buy into this system. Everyone still just gets their job and doesn't do anything about it. They complain about it, but complaining isn't actually doing anything about it. Everyone just goes along with the system and perpetuates it. I just wonder every day how much longer you guys are going to put up with this modern day slavery, because that's what it is.
So I'm just supposed to sit here for 40 hours a week for the next 45 years of my life?
Only if you live for 45 more years.
The problem with 9-to-5 jobs isn't the job itself. It's everything that comes with it. You may only work 40 hours a week, but you sacrifice way more than that. First of all, half of your waking hours are either spent preparing to work or commuting to and from work. When it comes time to enjoy the other 4 hours you have every workday, you're kind of too tired to do anything that you really like to do, so you settle for something else, like sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. In my opinion, this isn't a good lifestyle. This is just modern day slavery. I don't see how you can describe it any other way, considering everyone is robbed of their time when they're even not actually clocked in and they're only paid pennies for it. For the life of me, I can't understand why people are okay with this. And by okay, I don't mean that people aren't complaining. Yeah, people are complaining about it. What I'm saying is no one's doing more than that. No one's saying, you know what? Screw this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to do something else. Like, this isn't 1970 anymore. The cost to start a business is virtually nothing. You don't have to be restricted to these stupid systems and these stupid ideas that don't make sense anymore.
So, if you would you walk us through a typical day for you?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. I use the side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour.
Space out?
Yeah, I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work. The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Don't care?
It's a problem of motivation, all right? Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships a few extra units, I don't see another dime.
Let me get this straight. I'm supposed to accept having like a quarter to half of my paycheck taxed every paycheck when I have to dedicate 40 to 50 hours a week doing something I don't want to do for every job that I've worked. And I have nothing to show for any job that I've worked because they don't pay enough. But the money that you do make is taxed, so you're losing like half of that. And all these benefits, you mean the high deductible healthcare plans that you end up paying so much out of pocket for, and they're taking money out of every single paycheck when you're not even sure if you're going to use your health insurance that month, but you have to opt in or else you don't get it for that entire year. And I'm supposed to be grateful for a company that gives me like maybe a couple days off most for my paid time off for like the entire year, and like barely any sick days or any time off to function. And we're basically sacrificing all of our time with our family, our loved ones, our personal and self-development, our health, our wellness and our creativity, because we're spending like 85+% of our time working and still struggling to just achieve anything, still struggling to afford life, even though you've given your all to this job and all the jobs before that. And I'm supposed to sit here and be grateful. How have we not realized that taxation is theft? And how have we not like boycotted this? Like, is anybody actually happy working 50 hours a week? Is anybody actually happy? Is it fulfilling anybody? Maybe some people are actually making enough money where it's fulfilling, but can you imagine how the people feel who have made less than $20 an hour for their entire lives? Because we didn't go to school, because maybe some of us were too busy working to ever finish school, so we couldn't. And a lot of us are in student debt. I'm happy that I'm not in debt, at least, but like then people have to deal with that on top of everything. Yeah. And you're telling me that we haven't been brainwashed into a certain system, because life shouldn't be this way.
You have to realize that like life is pretty short and bad things happen all the time, and days before you know it, if you're living a monotonous like 9-to-5 lifestyle, can turn into years. And I didn't want to be that guy, because like when I think of my life, I want my life to be as glorious as possible, you know?
If I see one more person make a video about why you should quit your corporate 9-to-5 with nothing else lined up and why it's the best move ever, I'm genuinely going to lose my mind, because there's two sides of TikTok right now. There's people who are laid off, unemployed, have been looking for work for months, and then there's people who are just willy-nilly quitting their job because it's toxic, it's affecting their mental health, they don't get along with their manager. I'm not downplaying people's situations. Obviously, yeah, quit your job if it's affecting your physical well-being and mental health long term, but please make sure you have something else lined up or like another stream of income first. It's so unrealistic to tell people to just quit their jobs because they're unhappy, because most people it's just not realistic for, okay? The majority of people who are able to do this either have a partner that's supporting them, have a family who's able to support them, don't have a lot of bills, have a unique situation, are making a full-time income off of social media, which is, again, not what most people are doing. So please stop lying to your audience, okay? Work your job and make a better situation for yourself and then quit. Do not quit with nothing else lined up in today's economy.
As you can see, many people are not happy with the 9-to-5, and it's for several reasons. Many of us can't get ahead because the company that you work for doesn't pay you enough, or you may be paid enough, but your coworkers drive you crazy, or the commute to work. Most people that I know aren't happy with the fact that they're working Monday through Friday. They get Saturday and Sunday off, and even that Sunday isn't really a full day off, because maybe halfway through the day you start thinking about Monday, thinking about work again. And I sure wasn't happy with that at all. And I made a decision one day, and I said, okay, I'm going to start a dividend portfolio that's going to help me pay my bills. Fast forward to today, I've created enough income that I can pay my household expenses without using my paycheck. And in the future, I'll be able to pay all my bills, including mortgage, with dividends. I tell people to start a dividend portfolio because anyone can do it. Doesn't need skill, nor training. Doesn't matter how old you are. All you gotta do is open up an account and buy your first stock. And then you go from there. Make sure they pay dividends and go from there. You don't have to pick the perfect stock right away, but just start. My portfolio allows me to work part-time at my job. And basically what happens is it frees up my time to work on other things. Most people are too tired or even busy with family, such after work, to really work on a side hustle that could pay some or all the bills. However, you don't need much time to work on a dividend portfolio. You're just sitting on your phone, looking at stocks, looking at dividend yields, looking at other portfolios, reading up on dividend news. You could be at your computer, checking out stories and looking at the financials of the company that you invested in as a shareholder and things like that. It doesn't take much time. You're not doing much work. And even if you just built one that's only like $200, $100 a month. Now that $100 could pay, I don't know, phone bill, Netflix or something. But the goal here is to free up your time so you're not complaining as much about your job, because I'm telling you from personal experience, when I started seeing some real income coming into my portfolio, I started thinking differently. I started thinking like, I could possibly build this thing up to pay my car note. I could possibly build this thing up to, pay off my student loans or whatever, right? Whatever that bill is or whatever that expense that you have, you can start seeing that you don't have to trade your time to pay that. You don't have to trade your time for all your money. So that frees you up so you can work on other stuff. So I won't keep you much longer. Start one today if you haven't, or if you have already. Stay consistent with it and you'll see results.
There's a letter to your mother that is hidden in my desk that I wrote to her in a sober mind. It's my apology for all the things I used to be, swearing I'll change over time. Might not believe me, 'cause no one ever does, except your daughter who loved me. God forbid all it takes for to find ways to be cherished and loved all the way. Lets me drink my liquor and I'm singing through the night. She slaps my hand when it's too much. She's mean and she's kind, strong and divine.